welcome to my channel Creative Art. I am Nilima and today we are going to do a resin art. So friends, do watch the complete video to make it yourself and do subscribe my channel friends for more creative art painting videos, and do press the bell icon to get notification for each video I post every week. Now let's check out all the materials we are going to need to make this beautiful resin art palette. And for that, first of all, we are going to need Expo Art resin from Little Birdie. It comes in two parts, clear and hardener. Please read out all the instructions given on the back side of the bottle, which also explains how to mix this resin properly. Once the resin is completely cured, it is said to be food grade. So this resin can be used for making art palettes, making coasters, making kitchen trays and many different things. The next important thing that we are going to need is this beautiful deco transfer sheet from the range Frozen Disney from Itsy Bitsy. And this time we are going to use this beautiful theme which says Snow It All. And based on this theme, Frozen, we are going to use a lot of glitters and try to make small and big snowflakes using glitters. So this is the one we are going to use. You can also use this print which is so pretty and it says Destiny Awaits, because the color scheme that we have selected will match both the prints. For pigments, I'm going to use a resin pigment. This is Sky Pool color opaque. You can also use purple, you can also use white because it goes with snowflake color. So this is a must-have color, ultra white resin pigment from Little Birdie. Next, for the glittering and the magical look, do not forget to use these beautiful glitters. You can either buy a small box like this which says Fairy Dust Gold Glitters from Little Birdie, or you can also buy this small packs of glitters. They do come in so many different colors and shades. Other than that, if you want to use a different shape of glitters, you can use this type of metallic glitters. This one is of a heart shape, crimson heart. You'll also find stars in silver, in gold, blue, purple. So there are different colors. You can select from any of them. Next that I'm going to use for mixing a resin is a silicone cup which looks like this. I found this online and they are reusable cups, so I don't have to use a new paper cup each time. You can simply use this type of silicone cup or mug. And now the next best thing that I got from Itsy Bitsy is this amazing silicone mat. So now we can easily spread out this silicone mat which we can use as a base for doing any type of resin work, either mixing resin, pouring resin, or stirring the resin, mixing any pigment. You can do everything on this mat so that your surface, whether it's a glass surface or a paper surface or any table where you're working, that won't be dirty. This mat is reusable, this mat is washable, so you can easily wash it in water. And the final thing that we are going to need is this silicone art palette. I have used this palette quite many times in my previous videos and we are going to reuse this palette. The best thing about using these silicone materials are they are reusable and you can use it again and again and make different type of art forms, from this cup to the silicone mat to silicone palette, and now I even have a silicone spatula. So friends, do go for reusable things and try to make this kind of beautiful DIYs using this reusable silicone mats, molds, cups and everything you get. All these materials will be listed and linked in the description box below from where you can buy them online. And friends, if you use my code, that is Nilima5, Nilima5, you will get an additional 5% off on your entire purchase from Itsy Bitsy. Now let's start the tutorial friends. Now let's start mixing some clear resin, and for that we're going to use Expo Art resin which comes in two different parts. First is clear and second is a hardener from Little Birdie. We have to mix these two different parts in 2:1 ratio. That means 2 parts of clear resin and 1 part of hardener. Before starting mixing of resin, do read all the instructions which are given on the back side of this bottle. So now, first of all, we'll start our electronic measuring unit. Place a silicone cup on the measuring unit and then press the button there to bring it to 0. And now here I'm pouring 100 grams of Expo Art resin, clear, Here we have got 100 grams of clear resin. And now I'm going to add half of this quantity, which is 50 grams of hardener, which will in all make it 150. We have finally got 150 grams of clear resin. In case you want to measure a small amount of resin, you can easily use a measuring spoon, 2 spoons of clear resin and 1 spoon of hardener. Make sure you're using the same measuring spoon while measuring both, and then using an ice cream stick, mix this very well till at least 5 minutes. Now after mixing the clear resin for 5 minutes, this is how it looks. Now let's start mixing some pigments, and here I'm going to use mica powder rose dust color from Little Birdie, and this is pearly dust. Use a little quantity, okay, just this much would be enough. Nowadays there are different types of mica powder, pearl powder or powdered pigments available for resin. Add a little bit of resin in both the containers. And then using an ice cream stick, give them a very nice mix. When all the powdered pigments get very well mixed up with the resin, you can add more resin in this container. Here I have got just a new color of pigment. It's called Azure Blue. I'm going to try it for the first time. Unknown about the expected color. So let's mix just a little bit in this resin. Wow, it turns out to be blue. Some kind of dark blue with a tint of purple. Okay, it looks good. Try a little bit of pink with it. Okay, so it gives me a little purple shade. Okay, I like it this way, a little purple shade. I'm going to mix some more resin. Now this is how our azure color looks. I'm going to pour it in a small container. Now to get some more effects like different colors in the same resin part, I'm going to add all these pigments in the same azure pigment. And then more of this clear resin. Okay, I think this much is enough. Now mix all these content very well. And let's see the azure color overtake all the pigments. But after the pour, you'll see different results. And this is a beautiful all the pigments look. It does have a little bit of dark tinted shade. This is how I have set up my tray, and this is already set up. So I'm giving a final mix to my azure color and what I have made. And now I'm going to pour it all around the tray first. Use a spatula to spread all the resin around. Looks beautiful. Now I'm going to pour the color we prepared. Perfect. It really looks very, very pretty. I'm going to gently spread this color all around the corner because I really want this color in the corner sides. And then I'm going to use this gas torch to pop out all the bubbles and heat this resin just a little bit so it starts flowing. This much is enough. So now this is how it looks, but I cannot guarantee you that this will look the same after 4 to 5 hours because what I'm expecting is for all the colors to come in the center part. So let's see how it goes. Now it's been 5 hours and this is how our resin tray look. It's not completely dry, but the resin is still in a jelly mode. So now friends, I'm going to make my next pour, for which I have mixed approximately 60 grams of clear resin, and this is how it looks. I'm going to give it a nice mix before pouring. Okay. In a small container, I will be dividing just a little amount which I need for center. I think this much would be enough. And now I'm going to add the clear resin all around. Still have a little bit remaining in my cup. And I use a spatula to move around the resin. And next I'm going to use white resin pigment from Little Birdie. Use just a teeny tiny scoop of resin pigment like this, and then mix it very nicely with the small resin amount we have taken. Mixing of pigment should be really good with resin. Take your time to mix this. And then I'm going to pour it right in the center. And now for the next remaining resin part, I have added some Snow White glitters, and I'm going to directly mix them in resin in this way. This is how it looks. And now I'm going to pour it surrounding this white color. And now friends, I'm going to use a gas torch and gently pop out any bubbles on the top. all the bubbles are popped out, I will let it rest and spread as much as possible, and then we'll start placing few glitters manually. Okay, now it's been an hour. I have poured second layer of resin, and after that I have placed these square shape of glitters. These are actually purple glitters, but they do shimmer and shine in different colors. To make the inner circle, I tried to make different shapes of snowflakes. You can clearly see they look so beautiful in different snowflake shape, and they are also reflecting light because I have placed them manually one by one, placing them left and right, so they are not exactly plain, and that's the reason they are reflecting light, and it looks so beautiful. So this was a complete manual step. I did a lot of snowflakes in inner circle, then small shape using 5 to 6 glitters on the outer circle, then 4 glitters, and then placing each one single glitter on the edges, and finally this is how our resin looks. So now friends, I will let this part get dry for more 10 to 15 hours till the base is completely solid for our next step. Now after 15 hours, the second layer of resin is completely dry, and this is how beautiful it looks. Just because we have placed these glitters after 1 hour of pouring resin, none of them have moved from their sides. It is exactly how I placed them. And now friends, let's move to our final step. For this DIY, I have selected to place Snow It All, the sticker of Olaf, because I wanted these beautiful snowflakes to be on center, and that's also a reason that I made the center white. So using a scissor, cut out this piece like this, then check whether it's exactly to the shape where you want to place it. You have to check it this way because we have to invert and place it. Okay, it exactly fits where I want it to be. Now from one side you have to remove this transparent coating of deco transfer sheet in this way. This is the one we don't need, and this is the colorful sticker that we need. It's really simple. Turn it upside down and place it exactly where you want it to be. Okay, I want it to be here. Give it a nice and gentle press in this way. And now I'm going to use a brush to wet the upper surface of paper. You can also use a sponge, but even this step works. So I'm going to use a paintbrush, wet it in water, and then wet the top surface of this white paper. This tip is really easy. As soon as the paper is completely wet, it will change the color from white to off-white. Now wait for a few seconds till the paper automatically bloats up, and place a finger like this, and you can gently slide away this extra piece of paper from the top, which will be just leaving out the print on the base. And wow, this is how easy it was, and this is how beautiful our deco transfer piece looks right in the center of palette. Now we'll let the deco transfer print get dry completely. Till that, let's mix 100 grams of clear resin. Okay, it's been 10-15 minutes. The deco transfer sheet is completely dry, and here I have also completed mixing some clear resin. This is how it looks. And now gently I'm going to pour it all around the palette. Make sure that resin reaches to all the corners. Then use the spatula and drag the resin to all the corners. It's finely in all the corners. Now the last and quick step, to use our gas torch to pop out all the bubbles. Do it very gently without disturbing the center area. So you have to be very quick and very gentle while popping out all the bubbles, so that you do not overheat the resin, and if you do that, your deco transfer sheet may get cracked. So be very gentle and quick. So this was quick and I have finally removed all the bubbles from the top. I am expecting it to get dry within 24 hours and the top layer to be really smooth. So now friends, I'm going to cover it back using a cling film clear sheet foil and let it get cured for at least 24 hours and then I'll show you how does it looks. Okay? Now it's finally been 24 hours and let me check. Yes, the resin is completely cured from all the sides and this is how smooth the top is. Wow, it's perfect for painting. Now gently start separating the sides of silicone mold from all the corners first. Now give this point a little pressure. Okay, it comes out so easily. And now finally friends, let's peel it out gently. Wow, and this is how beautiful it looks. See the clear separation? Wow. In case you feel that the sides of your palette is sharp, use a cutter like this and gently drag your cutter in this way so that the sharp edges will turn out blunt and it will give out some white flakes like this, which will actually make the rest of the part smooth. So I'm going to do this step like this. Scrape out any sharp edges in this way. You can also give a very easy shape on this inner hole where you have to place your thumb so that it is more comfortable. What I like to do is I like to cut out this space so I get a nice holding in this part. Now I have finally trimmed all the sharp edges and this is how it looks. I have also made a smooth soft corner right from here and this one thumb will lock it up so our palette won't fall from our hand and the entire weight of palette will rest on your hand in this way. So now friends, I'm going to use a silver color Sharpie and color this white edgings as silver from inside. If you want, you can do the same for all the sides. I'm going to do it for the inner side. And now finally, this is how cute, shimmering and colorful our resin palette looks. I think adding the glitters in this part makes it look much more attractive and placing these glitters manually gives it this beautiful magical look. And I think placing Snow It All was just perfect. I was expecting something much more brighter, but this is the one which just fits perfectly in the center and it's giving this beautiful snowing effect all over the palette because of these glitters and the snowflakes that we created. This palette is also semi-transparent. You can see the look behind the glitter because we added just a little amount of color on the edges and remaining was plain clear resin. So now friends, finally this is how beautiful our resin art palette looks. I'm very excited to start using this palette for my acrylic paintings and oil paintings. You can also use this palette for sculpture paintings. That is completely your choice. So do give it a try, make it yourself and do tell me in the comments below what do you think about this beautiful resin art palette. And if you do like my tutorials friends, please do like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you for watching.